And that breaking news, another major ruling in the legal fight over the deployment of the California National Guard in Los Angeles. Late tonight, an appeals court temporarily blocking a federal judge's order that would have forced President Donald Trump to hand control of the National Guard back to California Governor Gavin Newsom. The three-judge appellate panel has set a date for June 17th to decide if the ruling earlier tonight will actually take effect. Good evening, and thank you for joining us here at 11. I'm Andrea Flores.
I'm Lisa Gonzalez. Tonight, Governor Newsom said in a statement he is confident the ruling from the judge today will stand. So here's a closer look at that ruling today by U.S. District Judge Charles Breyer. That's a Clinton appointee. According to the ruling, President Donald Trump violated the 10th Amendment and exceeded his authority when he called up the California National Guard to assist with L.A. protests. The judge says the president must return control to Governor Gavin Newsom. That was supposed to happen tomorrow by noon, but again, that is now on hold.
In federalizing the Guardsmen, President Trump pointed to a provision of federal law that says he can call up a state's troops to suppress a rebellion. But Breyer said the protests fall far short of rebellion, saying, quote, violence is necessary for a rebellion, but it is not sufficient. He then added, even accepting the questionable premise that people armed with fireworks, rocks, mangoes, concrete, chairs, or bottles of liquid are armed in a 1903 sense. The court is aware of no evidence in the record of actual firearms. There is little evidence of whether the violent protesters' actions were open or avowed. End quote. Governor Newsom reacted to the ruling before the appeals court placed it on hold.
Today's order makes clear that he is not above or beyond constitutional constraints. The Constitution sets forth limits. The president is a constitutional officer. The President of the United States works under the Constitution.
The White House also responding tonight, defending the president's use of the National Guard. A spokesperson saying in part, quote, the president exercised his lawful authority to mobilize the National Guard to protect federal buildings and personnel in Gavin Newsom's lawless Los Angeles.
Happening right now, here's a look at the scene in Los Angeles tonight, where parts of the city are still under a curfew. This is the third straight night of a curfew, and we've seen police making some arrests as well as some protesters still out on the streets. LA's Mayor Karen Bass says the curfew will continue for several more days, but says the curfew zone does not need to be expanded.